Good afternoon, a warm welcome to Nosey Road for the first round of the Lancashire Cup. Saints led out today by matchday mascot Stephen Ratcliffe. There he is, just approaching the halfway line. Simon Stephen is 8 years of age. He attends St Mary's School at Blackbrook. He's a keen swimmer and he's a member of the St Helens Swimming Club. A big day for him out there with Shane Cooper, Alan Hunt just in the background. A fine day after a pretty dismal and rainy day yesterday. We had rain forecast, but it's a grand day here at St Helens, and certainly the pitch looks in good condition for some good open rugby. I know Runcorn, one of the lower clubs in the second division, just a few miles from here over the Runcorn Widnes Bridge. But they'll be doing their best this afternoon, and only a decent score from the Saints will be acceptable this afternoon after unfortunately losing out by those 2 points last week at home against Castleford in the league. Anyway, the Saints team for today: number 1 Phil Beavers, 2 Alan Hunt, 3 Mark Bailey, 4 Paul Loughlin, 5 David Tanner, 6 Tommy Frodsham, 7 Jonathan Griffiths, 8 Paul Farber, 9 Paul Groves, 10 David Cosgrove, 11 Bernard Dwyer, 12 Roy Haggerty, 13 Shane Cooper, with substitutes for the Saints: 14 Paul Jones and 15 Austin Donegan. On the Runcorn side, the number 1 Tommy Rawlinson, 2 Kevin O'Gara, 3 Charlie Jones, 4 Bobby Hoy, 5 Simon Ashcroft, 6 Sean Barrow, ex-Saint. At the standoff position, usually plays on the wing, but probably forced injuries to Dave Chisnall, puts him at the standoff. Number 7 David Hine, 8 Phil Southwood, another ex-Saint, prop forward, not getting his first team appearances here at Saints, and Dave Chisnall, the Runcorn coach, he snapped him up when he went over to Runcorn in the close season. Number 9 Jimmy Dooley, 10 Jeff Dean, 11 Paul Fenney, 12 Joe Natoli, 13 Sean Dolan, 14 for Runcorn Keith Ashcroft, and 15 Peter Beckett. There's the match day official today, the referee Alex Bowman from Whitehaven. Captain for Runcorn, Tommy Rawlinson. Captain for Saints, Shane Cooper. Match day mascot there, Stephen Ratcliffe, centre field. Being allowed, there he goes, tosses the coin. Big day for this lad. Says he's a keen swimmer. I don't know whether he's a rugby player, but he's there with Shane Cooper. He's just been led away over to the main stand side. So certainly a big day for this lad, and if it's a big score, it's certainly one he'll remember. So Saints are playing up to the Ennington stand for this first half. The new electric scoreboard in operation today at Nosey Road for the first time. As I said, Dave Chisnall, the ex-Alliance coach here at St Helens, but he was deposed and he's over at Runcorn as first team coach now. Runcorn kick-off, Roy Haggerty gathers it. Runcorn, they try the softening up process. Obviously they want to get into the Saints and try and close them down for the first 10 or 15 minutes. David Cosgrove, lovely ball onto Frodsham, out to Groves. Overlap on the right for the Saints. Bailey lofted pass to Alan Hunt. Right from the kick-off, Saints move upfield, 30-40 yards. Barber, Shane Cooper. Good ball to Haggerty, lovely ball to Loughlin. He comes in field. Solid tackle there from Sean Barrow. Standoff for Runcorn this afternoon. Jonathan Griffiths, Tommy Frodsham, Saints spread it again. Across the line, Mark Bailey. Into the Runcorn 25 now. Groves attacked in half-back. Runcorn penalised there. An infringement at the play of the ball, obviously holding Paul Groves down. In Alex Bowman's opinion, he's certainly quick in with that decision. I just hope he is as quick with his decisions all through the match. So the first chance for points on the board. Saints awarded a penalty after just a minute's play, and a chance for Paul Loughlin to open the Saints account. Not a very good crowd here at Nosey Road, a bit disappointing, unless it's with the Saints' performance. I mean, we've only played 2 games in the league, a win at Sheffield, and unfortunately going down by those 2 points here at Nosey Road last week. But Saints came back, played well, and threw it away in the end. But it's Paul Loughlin now, 20 yards from the sticks, just to the right. Just composing himself. No problem there, bangs it straight between the sticks. So after just 2 minutes play, Saints are in the lead by 2 points to 0. Runcorn to kick off again. Roy Haggerty stops it. Action replay of the kick off. Paul Groves at dummy half. Saints spreading it to the right. David Cosgrove coming in. Solid tackling there from both the Runcorn props, Salford and Dean. But referee Bowman is quickly in again there. He's having no holding down. Well, he's certainly keen on this fella, isn't it? Makes a change to last week, where there's a lot of holding on and pressing down and very rarely being penalised. Saints move it across the line. Tommy Frodsham. Haggerty over on the right now. Good game last week against Castleford. At least 2 tries being made by Roy Haggerty. Well, Alan Hunt there, he's going through. Front of the ball must have gone to ground. Mark Bailey hurrying up that right touch line. Whether he slipped it onto Alan Hunt, must have gone to ground. First scrum of the match, just outside the Runcorn 25. Runcorn feed with David Hine to feed. I believe David Hine is a local lad. He actually is the wicket keeper for St Helens Direct's cricket team. Let's hope his hands are safe today as far as Runcorn are concerned, but Runcorn are penalised feed in the scrum, I would imagine. 3 penalties in quick succession for the Saints. Well, it looks as though he's having a word with Jimmy Dooley there, the hooker for loose arm. Paul Groves, 10 yards inside the Runcorn 25. Shane Cooper, inside ball to Farber, diagonal run. Good forward Farber, on to Jonathan Griffiths. Certainly a pearl, this Welshman from the Llanelli club. 2 storming performances in the opening 2 league matches. Phil Beavers up at acting halfback. Farber, Cosgrove in support, and Saints pressing on the Runcorn line. Cooper again. Saints move it across. Beavers looking for support. Haggerty, no, just can't take it. Unlucky there, Saints, for a knock-on ruled. Saints must have come up with the ball. Swung it out there on the far side. I think it's Mark Bailey that actually had it in his possession. But a knock-on being ruled. Very unlucky there. Beavers coming in at the extra man. Nearly went through, tried to pass it out to Haggerty, but it went to ground. Well, Runcorn, they're penalised again, a differential penalty at the scrum. Before the ball was actually put in, he's going to have a word with the hooker, perhaps Jimmy Dooley. But he's keen on this fella, quick tap penalty from the Saints. Groves wants a quick play of the ball from Roy Haggerty. Saints bring it left. Cooper, Tommy Frodsham, good ball. Beavers gives the dummy, goes inside, straightens up just over 10 yards, right in front of the sticks. Surely just a matter of time for the Saints break through. Frodsham, lovely ball to Loughlin. Yes, Loughlin touches down in the corner. Frodsham held it to perfection there. Dummied the Runcorn man, fed it out to the left to Loughlin, and he touches down in the corner. Well, it's not been given, obviously an infringement. Must be forward pass, I would imagine, but referee Bowman, it certainly looked good from here, but a scrum's going to be formed. Runcorn to feed. Runcorn come up with the ball, the first clean ball from the scrum. Plays it to himself, and Saints are penalised. Well, some you win, some you lose. Alan Hunt scored a good try, in my opinion, last week against Castleford, but he was penalised because he reckons he played it to himself with the 2 Castleford markers, but there was 2 Hunts right. But referee Bowman right on the right at the action there, and Saints are penalised this time. Jimmy Dooley, local lad, Jimmy Dooley, St Helens lad. That's hooker for Runcorn. Salford, ex-Saints prop forward, 18 prop forward. limited experience in the first team at Nosey Road. As I said, Dave Chisnall snapped him up along with Sean Barrow. But it's Runcorn in possession. More or less the first touch of the ball. Jeff Dean. Jimmy Dooley wants a quick play of the ball. He's there shoving the Saints players off. Salford. Runcorn trying to spread it, but Shane Cooper quickly in there. Certainly looking very sharp, Shane Cooper. David Tanner takes it on the full. Had a good game in the A-team at Headingley on Friday, which the A-team now coached by Frankie Barrow, another ex-Saint, who Frankie Barrow took over from Dave Chisnall, as I say, who's now first-team coach with Runcorn. Got a good 19 points to 10 win, and David Tanner was man of the match. Haggerty there, taking 2 and 3 players out of the game. Hunter Frodsham, he feeds it back inside now to Jonathan Griffiths. A slightly high tackle from Jimmy Dooley, but allowed to go on. Nothing malicious there, just reflex action. The ball back to Paul Groves, up to Paul Farber. Took a knock on the ankle last week, did Paul Farber, but he doesn't like being out of this first team. Frodsham did well. Oh, took it, lovely. Is he over? Looks as though he's over from here. Well, double movement, the referee's signifying. Well, how we can see that from there, I don't know. It certainly looked as though he's bounced over. So Saints going over twice in about 2 or 3 minutes. But neither of the tries allowed. And Saints are penalised again. Runcorn to take the penalty right on their own line. Just 8 minutes gone, and Tommy Frodsham, the blistering pace. He played well last week against Castleford. He wasn't well, he'd had a virus, but he certainly took him on, and it's only things to be looked forward to when Tommy Frodsham's on song. Runcorn in possession. Still pegged in their own 25. Dooley. The ball back, looks as though it's going to be kicked upfield. Phil Beavers and David Tanner. Well, offside. Number 2 there, is it? Kevin O'Gara, but whatever. Well, I don't know what the interpretation of that. Obviously, there was an infringement when the ball was kicked. There's Runcorn being awarded the penalty, and it's Kevin O'Gara with the ball in his hands, looking for guidance. Yes, the touch judge there on the far side, he's on. Player's been stopped where the ball was taken by Saints Phil Beavers. Referee Bowman having a word with his touch judge there, so we'll just see what happens. Well, the penalty awarded, which we'd no doubt about, but the referee had awarded the penalty, and yet he still went over to the linesman, obviously, to see what he had to say. Perhaps just in case he was thinking of putting somebody in the sin bin for 10 minutes for foul play, but obviously the kicker of the ball taken off the ball as he kicked it through. So it's Kevin O'Gara looking to register Runcorn's first points in this Grunalla Lancashire Cup tie. Saints leading at present by 2 points to 0. O'Gara coming up now. Is he going to find? Yes, it's got the distance. Good kick there from O'Gara. Left-footed kick. He's on the right-hand side for the left-footed kicker there. Slots it right between the sticks, and Runcorn back on level terms. Last season in the Lancashire Cup first round, I think it was the first round, Runcorn were drawn against Wigan. Unfortunately, as the tie loomed, the players had a rebellion, and Runcorn had to resort to signing some juniors from Clockrec Amateur Club. And the veteran campaigner Bill Ashurst, who was at Runcorn then, he actually turned out against Wigan. They got beat, I think it was 92-7 or something like that. But perhaps not a bad score against a full-flight Wigan team. And Runcorn peppered with some junior talent. But it's Saints still in possession, unable to penetrate this Runcorn defence. And actually, yet on the board, as I said, we've been over the try line twice, but both ruled out by referee Bowman. Tommy Frodsham, centre field. Well, the man on the ground there, and second tattler coming in. Shane Cooper. Paul Farber, inside ball to Haggerty. Looking for support, back to Shane Cooper. Always there, looking to release his Haggerty. He got it to Shane Cooper, coming up in support this time. Certainly one to be contended with is Roy Haggerty, can weave his way through the tightest of defences. Well, Beavers taken down there, yes, it's number 10, Jeff Dean, as Beavers tried to penetrate the Runcorn defence. Dean turned into him, took Beavers down, so the penalty awarded to the Saints. Shane Cooper taking a quick tap. Roy Haggerty turns it inside. Just 13 minutes of the game gone and 5 penalties to 3 in Saints' favour. David Cosgrove builds up a head of steam, drives into this Runcorn defence. Paul Groves at dummy half. Farber on the inside. Farber bursting through, yes. No messing this time, nothing wrong with that. Good strong forward Farber. So both Saints props there involved, with David Cosgrove coming through at the initial burst. Then at the play the ball. Paul Grove slipping it inside quickly. Farber taking up the running and touching down 10 yards in from this popular side stand. Paul Farber going over there for his his second try of this season. And that came from Runcorn being penalised for Tony Dean, Jeff Dean was penalised on the far side in the Runcorn 25. Shane Cooper, Saints captain, elected to play a quick tap. They spread it over to the left, and only after one tackle, Saints powered the way over and extend the lead to 6 points to 2. Paul Loughlin's conversion there, no problem for Loughlin, and that makes it 8 points to 2. Well, Saints riddled with injury, with Les Quirk, a long-term injury. He's out with Neil Holding, Tony Kay, Big John Harrison, Stuart Evans, Gary Conley, Chris Arkwright, you name it, and unfortunately we've had our unfair share of injuries. David Tanner coming through there, receiving some over-enthusiastic treatment, but knock on, I think it is, ruled at the play of the ball. For a scrum down to be formed. Saints were hoping to show their new signing, Ian Connor, 19-year-old prop from Swinton. Another hopefully shrewd signing from the ex-Swinton coach, Frankie Barra. He obviously knows Connor's potential, and he knew Tommy Frodgham's potential. That's why they're both here. But Runcorn win the ball. Jimmy Dooley attacked in half-back. Quickly going through, Groves tidies up with David Cosgrove. But it's Jimmy Dooley, as ever, the hooker, taking the dummy half position. Southwood trying to go through, but it touched Haggerty. He drops on the loose ball, and Saints are back in possession. Bernard Dwyer trying to thread his way through. Back now after a stint with the Manly club in Australia. Tommy Frodsham out to try scorer Farber. Lofted ball to David Tanner. Kevin O'Gara brings him down just short of the halfway line. Jonathan Griffiths inside ball to Farber, up the touchline, inside to David Tanner. Well, Jeff Dean in there enthusiastically again. Dave Chisnall, he'll know he's got something on his plate today. Beavers in the line. Hunt has to come inside. He just swept past Mark Bailey, but it's Hunt coming infield. Diagonal run. Let's hope he's got a bit of glue on his hands this week. Unfortunately, he seemed to lose the ball in the tackle last week, but Tommy Frodsham, diagonal run, look at his support, still stood in the tackle, inside to Hunt. Cooper coming round, looking for the pass, but it's the sixth and final tackle now. Saints will spread it, looking for further points. Groves, Jonathan Griffiths. Lovely ball there, no, taken back. Just overrun there by Phil Beavers on the far side. Well, it was either overrun or just passed too far back. But it was the 6th tackle. The ball's gone into touch, it'll be the changeover. Brought in field, 10 yards. And Runcorn back in possession. Still 8 points to 2 for the Saints and 17 minutes gone. Oh, Alex Murphy is struggling again for a side. Only 15 players available that's on the sheet this afternoon. Runcorn was in possession there, it hit southward, it came back to Saints and he spread it quickly, but it's Tommy Frodsham taking it over to the right. Mark Bailey, diagonal run, still going Bailey. About 8 yards from the Runcorn line. Ball is going to come to the left, surely. Groves, Cooper, inside there to Frodsham, yes, is he in? Oh, just brought down short. Groves again, spreading it to the left. Cooper, as ever, Jonathan Griffiths, sidesteps. Right in front of the posts, just about 2 yards short. Cooper again, good ball to Beavers, yes, no problem. Beavers touches down. Saints look as though they can score at will. 18 minutes gone, Beavers extend the Saints lead to 12 points to 2. Phil Beavers, that's his 3rd try of the season. Extends the Saints lead. Just crisp passing from the Saints there. And to be quite honest, he shouldn't have any problem penetrating this Runcorn defence this afternoon. So Paul Loughlin now, already kicked 2 this afternoon. 12 points to 2 the score. That makes it 14, right between the uprights. And Saints well on the way. As I was just saying, Alex Murphy stuck with just the 15 players. He seems for selection anyway this afternoon. He was struggling last week against Castleford, but we shouldn't be struggling like this, should we? Here at St Helens, a top flight club. Let's just hope more signings are imminent. Charlie Jones kicks off. Taken on the full by Mark Bailey, right by the sticks. Threading his way through this Runcorn defence. Jimmy Dooley brings him down. David Cosgrove bursting through, but it's now with Farber onto Tommy Frodsham. Lofty ball to Loughlin. Tanner on his outside. Loughlin stretching for the line. Well, yes. Did well there, Paul Loughlin. Through 2 feeble tackles there from Sean Dolan and the fullback Tommy Rawlinson. But that's the class of this international centre. Paul Loughlin powers in for the Saints' 3rd try of the afternoon. Quick break from the Saints there from their own half. Paul Loughlin took the running up after a lovely lofty pass from Tommy Frodsham. This is what we've been short of, somebody to penetrate the opposition's defences. We've got Frodsham here at standoff and Shane Cooper at loose forward to take care of this. Just on the quarter time mark, 20 minutes of the game gone. Loughlin going over the 2nd try of the season and looking to extend the Saints lead even further to a 20 points to 2 if he's successful with this kick. Well, it's looking good. The touch judges are looking, no, it's just out of our view there, and it's gone to the right of the post, so just 18 points to 2 the score, and as I said, just over 20 minutes gone. Haggerty gathers, comes up the popular side touchline. Dean and Jones bring him down. Groves wants a quick play of the ball. The ball's fed to David Cosgrove. Into space, onto Cooper, as ever in support. Inside to Groves. Cooper loops round for the... Groves. Oh, Cooper was with him. Groves couldn't outpace Rawlinson. But Saints move upfield a full 50-60 yards. Griffiths across the line. Frodsham. Lofted ball again, taken well by Dwyer. Yes, Bailey. Hunt on his right. He gives it to Hunt. He takes it, goes over in the corner. And Saints there, powering the way over. Another try. Alan Hunt this time, the scorer. That's his first try of the season for the Saints. So 4 tries in a 9-minute blitz by the Saints this afternoon. Can't do the Runcorn side any... can't do much for the confidence, can it, this afternoon? They're having the team talk behind the sticks. Difficult conversion attempt for Paul Loughlin. Right-footed kicker, and it's on the right-hand side. Obviously got to watch for it swinging it across the face of the post, but good kicker Loughlin. Saints leading point scorer last season. Just about 5 yards in and just outside the 25. Takes it to the left. So 22 points to 2 the score, and Runcorn making a substitution with Jimmy Dooley. Must have picked up a knock coming off, and substitute Keith Ashcroft going on. So the substitutions made there. As I said, Keith Ashcroft going on. Hooker, Dooley coming off. Even though he was penalised a couple of times in the early scrums, he's still taking the scrums 2-0 so far this half. Groves, Cosgrove. Saints moving it to the right. Ball forward. Solid tackling there, Joe Natoli, and substitute Ashcroft quickly in. Well, lying over there on the far side there. Number 3, I think it was Charlie Jones, moving up in an offside position. Going unnoticed by referee Bowman, but Runcorn are in possession in the Saints 25. I think it's the first time they've been in the Saints 25 in possession of the ball. Salford. Well, he's lost the ball, the Runcorn man. I think it was Natoli coming through, but he lost it. Saints scoop it up. Tommy Frodsham. Good side step there, but Jeff Dean brings him to ground. Roy Haggerty. Lovely ball. Slips it out to Jonathan Griffiths. Well, there he is again, this Jeff Dean. I mean, I think it was him that threw the punch in for a 3-man tackle. Who the touch judge will bring out, I don't know, but Dean's took his hooks. We've got the loose forward, Sean Dolan and Charlie Jones in, but it's Dolan that's being brought out. And perhaps it was all having a go, but Saints are awarded the penalty. No need for that at all. If they're not careful, they're going to be down to 12 players or even less if they keep on this roughing up tactics of Runcorn. Frodsham across the line, takes the reverse pass there, onto Haggerty. Bernard Dwyer taking up the running, releases the ball. Mark Bailey. Bill Beavers at dummy half. Across the line, Griffiths, Frodsham. He'll be probing and probing inside to Farber. Saints keeping it alive. They're certainly throwing this ball around. Griffiths again. Lovely ball to Loughlin. Sidesteps past the Runcorn defence. Back to Griffiths. Still going. Saints keep it alive. Groves. Yes, takes the man. Oh, just a formality, surely. Yes, Dwyer out to Bailey. In at the corner. Has he scored? Well, it looked as though he'd come out of his hand. Referee Bowman right on the spot. He points to the spot and Saints are awarded another try, courtesy of Mark Bailey.
The try for St Helens, number 3, Mark Bailey.
Saints spreading it very quickly there, a tremendous 3 or 4, maybe even 5 man overlap on the right hand side there. Mark Bailey finished off in the corner. Saints extend the lead to 26 points to 2. Paul Loughlin has kicked 3. He's missed 2. Difficult conversion attempts again with Saints tries coming in the corners. A pretty still day, not a lot of breeze at all here, but I really am disappointed with the crowd here. Even though we are playing Runcorn, it's still a game of rugby, and the spectators should get behind the Saints. Well, it goes missed that. 28 minutes of the game gone, and Saints, as I said, extended the lead there to 26 points to 2. Kevin O'Gara kicking off again. David Tanner on the full. Taken down by Joe Natoli. David Cosgrove certainly looks full of running, this Cosgrove. As I said before, he was signed as a hooker from the Farnworth Ringer Bells Club at Widnes. He's played most of his rugby at prop, and he's certainly relishing in it. I know he's a pal of Paul Fitzpatrick, the ex-Runcorn and Rochdale centre. But David Tanner taking up the running. Brought down midway between the Runcorn 25 and the halfway line. Shane Cooper at dummy half. On to Roy Haggerty. Loves it, Haggerty, doesn't he? Right in the thick of it. Pinpoint ball to Cosgrove. Powers his way up. Releases it, but it goes to ground. Runcorn come up with it. I'll say it's 26 points to 2. They can afford to take a few chances, but slack play from Runcorn. It's Shane Cooper comes up with the ball. Griffiths now. Solid tackling there, just 5 yards out. Cooper again. Inside pass to Farber. Well, Saints stood still a little there. On to Dwyer, I think it is, on the far side. The ball's going to move right across the line to the left here, I would imagine. Tommy Frodsham tries to chip it through. The kick had gone too far, but Frodsham taken down. Runcorn to restart from a tap start from the centre of the 25-yard line. Looks like Jeff Dean there. Ashcroft taking up the acting half-back position onto Salford, but Saints in there, sharp as attack. Is it Cooper again? Certainly looked like him. Yes, it's Shane Cooper, but it's Haggerty that comes up with the ball, but Cooper, doesn't he read this game well? Haggerty, inside to Beavers, onto Griffiths. Lovely ball to Tommy Frodsham. Takes the defence on up to Mark Bailey. Inside to Alan Hunt, threading his way through. Out on the right wing. Super play from Hunt. Oh, yes. In for his second. Piece of individualism there from Alan Hunt. But there's a Saints player down injured on the far side there. I think it's Jonathan Griffiths taking a knock. I just can't see. No, Griffiths is there, stood up. But Saints extend the lead now to 30 points to 2. 31 minutes gone. And Hunt comes up with his second try of the afternoon. Saints physio there, treating the injured Saints party. Another difficult attempt for Paul Loughlin. This will be his third from over on that side, but I think this looks right on the touchline. About 5 yards back from the, well, it's Tommy Frodsham, it was that took the knock. He's up and about there. Tough customer, this Frodsham. But Paul Loughlin now, positioning himself just outside the 25, and well, that's a pearler. He's obviously got the hang of it now after 3 misses, and extend the Saints lead to 32 points to 2. O'Gara again to kick off. He's going to be sick of this by the time the final hooter goes, isn't he? Just about 10 minutes of play remaining in this first half. David Tanner in possession. Bursting through the tattle of Natoli. Loose forward, Sean Dolan brings him to ground. David Cosgrove taking up the running. Certainly had a good game, strong running forward. Runcorn penalised for offside. On the referee's left, quick tap penalty from Shane Cooper. Loop movement, Haggerty and Frodsham there. Haggerty up to David Tanner, couldn't take it. Looked at it twice, passed it the second time, but Jones comes up with it. Saints penalised this time for moving up too quickly. In an offside position at the play of the ball. So O'Gara finds touch midway between the Saints 25 and the halfway line. Saints force a line out on their own 25-yard line. Ashcroft to play the ball. Well, plays it to himself after a couple of dummy runs there. Joe Natoli coming through, but it's Sean Barrow, that's acting halfback. Dean across the line, scrum half David Hine. Sean Barrow attacking halfback. Runcorn unable to penetrate the Saints defence apart from just that penalty goal in the 10th minute from O'Gara. Sean Barrow again, trying to go on his own. Got some blistering pace this lad, but he's at the stand-off position today. He's usually a wingman. Ken Kelly was down on the team sheet for Runcorn. Whether he's took a knock, he did play last week. Certainly a veteran campaigner is Ken Kelly. It's 17 seasons since he played here at Nosey Road, and he's still going. He's certainly got an old head. Certainly an eye for the gap, but the legs must be catching up on him a bit now. Runcorn in possession, yes, they loose forward, Dolan. But on the far side there, Runcorn go in. 6 tackle there, up and under. Dolan looks as though he could take it, but he swung it out left. And I think it's Simon Ashcroft that goes in for Runcorn's try.
The try for Runcorn, by number 5, Simon Ashcroft.
I've just been confirmed by the PA system. It was Simon Ashcroft that went in for the Runcorn try. But unfortunately, I think it's Sean Dolan that's taken a knock right in the Saints in-goal area. On the 6th tackle there, Runcorn doing well. A lofted ball. Dolan took it, he fed it to left to Ashcroft, and the Saints defence couldn't hold him. He touches down right in the corner. Difficult conversion attempt from, for Kevin O'Gara, I should say. And as we were on about last week against Castleford, I say Alan Hunt try disallowed. Certainly some referees would have given it, and then the Paul Loughlin try in the far corner there where Ashcroft had scored, but that was disallowed. Obviously we couldn't see it, and even on the video you can't see it. Loughlin reckons he got it down. That would have been a match winner, but it wasn't to be. And here's O'Gara lining up, not going to make the distance, fades away and drops between the sticks. So it's 32 points to the Saints, 6 to Runcorn. About 5 minutes of play remaining in this first half. I think Dolan is back on his feet, but whether he can sustain any further part in this game. Saints kick off, a rare occurrence, isn't it, in this first half? Runcorn 15 yards from their own try line, and Saints will be hoping to certainly contain them there for the remainder of these 6 tackles. Paul Groves completes the tattle. Keith Ashcroft, substitute back at acting half-back. Feeds the ball back. Chip and run there from the scrum half, the David Hine. The Runcorn Highfield scrum half there, trying to penetrate the Saints ranks. On to Paul Farber. Releases it now. Tommy Frodsham sidesteps. Still going. Beavers in support. Loughlin inside. Gives it to Loughlin now. Stretching those legs. In the Runcorn 25. Beavers at dummy half. Making that extra man there, Phil Beavers. Dwyer inside to Cooper. Farber. Out to Bailey. Bounces off his chest and Runcorn come up with the ball. Well, even though it is lowly opposition, Saints shouldn't have any problems in going through to the second round draw. We've been knocked out in the last 3 seasons in the first round of the Lancashire Cup. I think it must have been the 4th season ago when Saints came through with 112 points to nil here against Carlisle. That was a slow first half. I think it was only 32 points to nil at half time. And Saints coming up with 80 points in the second half. Southwood kicks through. Beavers gathers it. Lofted ball to David Tanner. Comes in field. Well, high tattle there from Dolan. The referee in like a shot before tempers flare. Phil Beavers telling the referee what he thought of that tackle by Dolan on David Tanner, but Saints awarded the penalty. Groves on to Cooper. Haggerty coming through. Diagonal run. Powering his way towards the Runcorn line. Paul Groves acting half-back. Saints lined out to the right. Jonathan Griffiths. Tommy Frodsham. Dummies comes back inside. Has to take the tattle there. Right in centre field. Griffiths on to Cooper. Over to Loughlin after he juggles with it. Saints are still in possession, but they just look as though they're running at half pace. The ball still being kept alive. Just about 10 yards from the Runcorn line. Well, is he over for a try? Shane Cooper, it looked like. Yes, Saints captain there. Shane Cooper coming up with the points. He's always there and about. He weaves his way through. He certainly glides across this pitch. So right on the half-time hooter, Shane Cooper goes there. Saints' 7th touchdown of the afternoon. 36 points to 6 at present the score. I just hope I've got enough room on my scoring page here for this afternoon with another 40 minutes rugby to come. Paul Loughlin, 15 yards in, just inside the 25. No problem this time, bangs it right between the sticks, and 38 points to 6 the score. There's the half-time hooter sounds. After Paul Loughlin's conversion, Saints go in leading by 38 points to 6. A slow start by the Saints really, after some intense pressure. As I say, 7 tries from Farber, Beavers, Loughlin, Alan Hunt to Mark Bailey, and just finishing off there by Shane Cooper. 5 Loughlin goals. Surely be a stiff talk from Dave Chisnall to his outfit this afternoon. But he's under a lot of pressure. He's on a hiding to nothing, isn't he? But Saints they're going in at the half-time interval, leading by 38 points to 6. Back with you now for the second half of this Grunalla Lancashire Cup tie. Saints with a 38 points to 6 half-time lead. a comfortable lead, and Runcorn Highfield are forced to use one substitution in the first half. Well, there've been a few things, haven't they? They're now Runcorn Highfield Club. They started off as London Highfield, Wigan Highfield, Liverpool Stanley, Liverpool City, Huyton, and now Runcorn Highfield. Makes you wonder how some of these lower clubs manage to keep going, doesn't it? The Doncasters, Batleys and Runcorns and what have you. But they're putting a spirited effort up, but a super strong Saints side are certainly blitzing them. Lachlan kicks off. So the last time Saints won the cup was in the 84-85 season, the Lancashire Cup that is, of course, where they beat Wigan at Wigan on their own ground. Obviously a big attendance expected, and there was only either the Saints or Wigan, either Nosey Road or Wigan to hold the crowd. They tossed a coin, Saints lost the toss, but they won the match 26 points to 18, with that mighty Mal Meninga playing a vital role in the Saints win. Runcorn rewarded 2 penalties there in quick succession. Obviously Saints player saying something to referee Bowman. He took offence to it and moved Runcorn further up 10 yards. On to Ike Salford, brought down right on the halfway line. Keith Ashcroft, acting halfback, on to Dean. Now with Salford coming inside. Runcorn trying to spread it out a little, but solid tackling there. Bernard Dwyer quickly in. Runcorn spreading it quickly, but it's gone to ground. Tommy Rawlinson couldn't take it, hit his fingertips, went to ground. First scrum of the second half. Not many scrums in the first half, but Runcorn coming up with it 2-0. I don't think Saints... I think this is possibly the Saints' first feed of the match. Jonathan Griffiths, no problem, comes round the base of the scrum, lovely ball to Frodsham, on to Mark Bailey, into space. Runcorn penalised there. It's Simon Ashcroft impeding the Saints in their efforts. Saints rewarded the penalty, quick tap, and the ball now with Roy Haggerty. Keeps it going to Tommy Frodsham. Griffiths takes it well, unloads it quickly. Bailey, quick hands was essential there. It's back to Cooper. Griffiths, oh, lovely ball. On to Tommy Frodsham, no problem. Bangs it down, his first try with the Saints. And Griffiths there. I mean, he's not had a lot to do in the first half with Jonathan Griffiths. He's always been there and about. But it's Frodsham that's been doing most of the penetration. And believe you me, this lad Griffiths, he's class, isn't he? But he got the ball there, saw the gap. Frodsham on his left, and fed it to Frodsham, and he touched down 15 yards to the left of the uprights. Tommy Frodsham there, Saints 8th try, and 7 players have scored. I wonder if we can get them all on the score sheet. Every individual one, that must be some kind of a record, mustn't it? Lachlan, already kicked 5. No problem, bangs it right between the sticks. 3 minutes gone of the second half, and 44 points to 6 to score. Eight tries, 6 goals so far, 44 points to 6 to score. And let's just hope it is an omen. We was on about beating Wigan in the final when Mal Meninga was here in 84-85 season. And we played Runcorn Highfield that year in the first round here at Nosey Road. We ran out winners by 58 points to 14. So let's hope that we're well on our way. So it's in possession just outside their own 25. Cooper. Griffiths. Lovely ball. Dwyer unfortunately went down. Mark Bailey had to tidy it up. The ball from Bernard Dwyer a little low, but no damage done. Cooper there, trying to weave his way through. Full back Tommy Rawlinson comes up with the ball. Paul Fenney attacked in half-back. Takes it to the right there and substitute back. Keith Ashcroft comes up with it. David Hine on to Southwood. Well, Phil Southwood there, he looks as though he's cabbaging a bit. He moved upfield. But Runcorn spreading it quickly to the right. They're certainly throwing it about a bit better than they did in the first half. I think there's going to be a kick upfield. Looks as though they're lining out. Kevin O'Gara there. Chips it through. It wasn't O'Gara there, it was David Hine, the scrum half. But Runcorn there, they're moving up very quickly there. Penalised for offside. Just after they lined up well deep when I thought there was going to be a kick like an up and under. But they moved up too quickly to play the ball. The ball in Loughlin's hands, finds touch safely midway between the Runcorn 25 and the halfway line. Cosgrove running hard. 5 yards in from the popular side stand. Jonathan Griffiths. Oh, well, over the top there. Loose forward Dolan. It's already been warned once. Tommy Frodsham, good dummy, but just the ball shaking from his hands. Solid tackling from Runcorn this time. Tommy Rawlinson attacked in half-back, looking to make inroads, but Saints are penalised. Illegal marking at the play of the ball, according to referee Bowman. O'Gara with the ball in his hands, going to kick over to our commentary position for the penalty award. The added yardage there, good kick from O'Gara. Finds touch, 10 yards inside the Saints half. Good 35-yard kick upfield there from O'Gara. Ashcroft at dummy half to restart. On to Dean. Scrum half David Hine. Phil Southwood used as the dummy, and Natoli bursting through. Lofted ball back. Southwood now couldn't take it. It's gone to ground, must be a knock on. Well, Natoli there, he did well. Took his teammates by surprise there. He wasn't expected to burst through the Saints defence. He lofted the ball back. Phil Southwood couldn't take it. He knocked it forward, but regathered, constituting a scrum just outside the Saints 25. It's Jonathan Griffiths to feed. Saints taking the scrums 1-0 in the second half. But it goes Runcorn that way, one against the head there. And Runcorn breaking quickly. Well, loose ball, it's gone to ground. Alan Hunt comes up with it, so Saints back in possession. Roy Haggerty always probing and probing. Jeff Dean right in the thick of the action there, along with Bobby Hoey. Well, Cooper, Dwyer coming through. On the burst, he couldn't take it, he's disgusted, he bangs the ball down in disgust. It's going to be a scrum down. It's a Runcorn feed this time, midway between the Saints 25 to halfway line and about 20 yards in from the touchline. David Hine to feed. Well, he's in at the back of the scrum, he gets it out and Runcorn spread it quickly. Sean Barrow. Jeff Dean. Rawlinson attacked in halfback for Runcorn. Plays it to himself. Makes 10 yards. Brought down just short of the Saints 25. Ashcroft again. From acting halfback, trying to go on his own, but there's no way through for him. Farber and Groves. Put paid to him. Second row forward there, Paul Fenney, but 3 tackles there, and they made about 5 yards as Runcorn. Ashcroft again, 6th and final tackle. Up and under probably here, Phil Southwood is acting halfback. Well, Saints penalised for offside. As Southwood, it looks as though he's gone for drop goal. Don't know what the idea is there. But Runcorn get the penalty. 4 penalties to 2 for Runcorn in the second half so far. Well, O'Gara there, he's got the ball in his hands, but they don't know what they're doing with it, do they? They're going to have a go for goal, much to the boos of the partisan crowd. As I said before, a very poor crowd here at Nosey Road. You can see in the Eddington there at that end, it's usually chock-a-block, but hardly anybody there. Quite a few in the popular side and at the new sponsors boxes end, but probably looks more with the sponsors boxing taking up some of the space. O'Gara slots it between the sticks. 44 points to the Saints now, 8 to Runcorn.
With number 2, Kevin O'Gara.
But 10 minutes of the second half gone. 44-8 the score. Saints kick off. Runcorn just outside their own 25. Want to quick play the ball, going from acting half-back. The Saints penalised there up at near their own line. O'Gara converting it, O'Gara there, the ball back to him, he kicks upfield. Phil Vivers takes it comfortably in his own 25. Across field now, Tommy Frodsham. On to Alan Hunt. Let's see what this lad can do. We know he's got plenty of pace. Well, powers his way through his opposing wingman there, Simon Ashcroft. Just brushed him off as if he wasn't there. Groves at dummy half. Saints move it along the line to the left. Haggerty then pushes one off onto Tommy Frodsham. Roy Haggerty at the acting half-back position. Feeds it to Paul Farber. He takes it over over to the left. The ball released. It's flicked inside by Groves onto Loughlin. Griffiths does well, he puts it back. Well, a knock-on being ruled, but it looked as though he was facing the Runcorn post and it went back, but not to be. Referee Bowman blows up for a knock-on, a scrum down to be formed on the Runcorn 25. But there's another refereeing inconsistency there. Last week against Castleford, Paul Farber, he was being moved over to the touchline just as he was there. He flicked the ball back up to keep play going, and was allegedly the tackle was shouted as held by the referee last week. Saints were penalised, but Farber allowed to pass the ball and get away with it this time. Runcorn win the scrum. Tidying up 3-1 in the second half. That's one against the head, 2 clean heels. Southwood, good ball, quick hands. Sean Barrow, I think it is. 2 ex-Saints there linking up. Jeff Dean. Well, Alan Hunt's being penalised. Does he know it's Runcorn that's penalised this time? An infringement at the play of the ball, interfering with the Saints player. Phil Vivers comes up, takes the tap to touch. 15 yards from the Runcorn line. Saints spreading it across to the left. Farber, Dwyer, Haggerty, Fuller running. Yes, back, oh, Vivers. Vivers is there, yes. Gets it down. Lovely play from the Saints. Vivers touches down, extends the Saints lead. That's Phil Vivers' second of the afternoon, his 4th of the season. Just to the left of the sticks. Runcorn penalised. An infringement at the play of the ball, and Saints make them pay for it. Second try within 11 minutes from the resumption of the second half. 48 points to 8 now the score. Just a formality for Loughlin right between the sticks. Loughlin pops it over. 50 points to 8 now, the half century.
Successful, number Laughlin.
So Kevin O'Gara stepping up to the centre spot to restart play, trailing by 50 points to 8. 2 O'Gara penalties and an Ashcroft try as Runcorn's points. Farber takes it well. Just a few yards in from the main stand side here at Knowsley Road. David Tanner bursting through. Groves on his inside. Lovely ball to Groves. Always in support. Cooper there, yes. Oh, looked as though another try on the board for Saints, but Cooper taken there. Groves passed it to him, and they was on Cooper like nobody's business. Jonathan Griffiths, Tommy Frodsham. Well, penalised there for offside. Runcorn, quick tap penalty. Phil Beavers takes it. Roy Haggerty, sidestep. Oh, brilliant sidestep. Inside pass to Frodsham. Lovely ball there, but he's lost it. The ball going down, and Beavers comes up and completes the tackle for a knock on. Has he ruled a knock on? Well, it must have been Salford that knocked on. We'll see if it's a Saints feed, because the original knock on coming from St Helens player. No, he's given the knock on from Tommy Frodsham, even though Runcorn come up with it. He must have judged it was behind his line, perhaps, I don't know. But Runcorn are in possession. Saints player down there in back play with an injury. Paul Laughlin it is, receiving treatment from Sean Kilmurray, Saints reserve team physio. And Runcorn kick upfield. Bill Beavers, no problem, takes it comfortably. Goes to centre field, still going Beavers, winding his way through. He's still going, the man. Brilliant run, 35-yard run from Beavers there. Took it inside his own half, and he's 10 yards inside the Runcorn 25. Runcorn penalised, it's Tom Natoli. Penalised there, but Cooper takes a quick tap. Bernard Dwyer, Haggerty. All bodies back in action now. Laughlin there, just received treatment. He's brought down about 2 yards short of the line. Groves at the dummy half, bringing it along the line. Jonathan Griffiths, overlap here. Cooper, Beavers, Mark Bailey must be in here. Well, the ball going off a Runcorn man. Well, it came off the Runcorn player's back there. Picked it up. But a knock-on going to be ruled. Looks as though it was just a formality there with Mark Bailey. He just had to pass it cleanly to Hunt. And he couldn't take it, it went to ground. It certainly looked to me as though it come off a Runcorn player's back. So it should have been play on, but it wasn't to be. Well, Runcorn there, they fed it. It was kicked out by a Saints player, and Runcorn are in possession. Tom Natoli. Sean Barrow moving up at the acting half-back position. Runcorn pegged in their own 25. Sean Barrow is looking to create a bit of space for the Runcorn outfit, but it'll take something to get past this Saints defence this afternoon. Bernard Dwyer completing the tackle. The ball going into touch. Tried to grub it through there, did the Runcorn player. It went in touch off a Saints player. So I would imagine it'll be a Runcorn feed. Scrum half David Hine there with the ball in his hands. Runcorn taking the scrums 5-1. That makes it 6-1. Well, he took it out of the tunnel, didn't he? As well, it's supposed to come out of the base of the scrum, but he took it out of the tunnel. But Runcorn are in possession. Ball gone to ground. Saints come up with it. Mark Bailey, Cosgrove onto Groves. Laughlin being forced into touch over there on the far side. Certainly a spirited performance from Runcorn in this second half so far. Just holding Saints to 2 tries and 2 goals in this second half. Nearly halfway through, just about 19 minutes gone. Saints penalised at the scrum. Differential penalty. Quickly taken by O'Gara. Well, very lucky there. Bounced in the field of play and then went into touch. That's Hawley, spreading it out, the ball's down. Griffiths comes up with it, play allowed to go on. Mark Bailey pushes one off. Dummies inside. Well, I think Runcorn have got possession, yes. The ball taken off Mark Bailey. Held it too long again there. Alan Hunt on his outside with not a lot of room, it must be said, but he's taking a knock in that tackle as Mark Bailey. Ashcroft attacked in half-back. Well, Dean there, he's looking, but he's been giving plenty of clog out, hasn't he? So he's some need to Luke. Solid tackling from the Saints there, and if you're going to give it, you've got to take it, haven't you? Hine, David Hine, chips through. 3 or 4 players offside there. Southwood one of them, but Beavers gathers safely. Gives the dummy, Loughlin comes over to the left, out to David Tanner. Can he outpace Sean Barrow there? Comes inside of him. Held well, just 10 yards short of the Runcorn line now. Jonathan Griffiths, Roy Haggerty. Well, I know he was a bit slow in getting back Runcorn, but he's only penalised them just. Shane Cooper taking the quick tap, on to Tommy Frodsham. Lofted ball to Bailey, out to Hunt. Will he give it this time? Hunt's in for his hat-trick, is he? Well, a little bit of aggro going on there. Runcorn player gets, well, temper's getting a little frayed. Right in that corner there, not something we want at... well, Paul Groves, he's brought one out, he's trying to stop the fray there. But obviously somebody taking offence to Alan Hunt going in, scoring the try. Let's just see what the referee does. Well, the try has been allowed. Alan Hunt in for his hat-trick. I don't know who it was, but somebody must have said something to Hunt. And then a little fracas started in the bottom right-hand corner, just by the sponsors' boxes and the scoreboard, the new electric scoreboard. But he's been sent off, I think. Just can't see who it is. It's the full-back, or has he just been sent away? No, he's just been sent away. Well, Paul Loughlin, he was just getting ready to kick the goal there. Referee Bowman just coming up. I don't know whether he said something to Loughlin, but he had to hang on, he had to take his time there. He's repositioning himself. I don't know whether there was an infringement in the actual scoring, but whether we'll get an 8-pointer out of this, it all depends on the referee's signal after Paul Loughlin has taken this conversion attempt. So Loughlin there, well, it looks good. Is it coming across? No, it's across the face of the goal. Well, no further action there being taken by referee Bowman. So 54 points to 8 the score. 17 minutes of the half remaining. Both captains being brought centre fielder. Tommy Rawlinson for Runcorn, Shane Cooper for the Saints. Referee Bowman, well, he doesn't want a recurrence of that incident in the far corner. So both captains have got to see that their respective teams settle down. O'Gara to restart, kicks it deep. Tanner takes it, comes in field, still going, breaks through the first two tackles. Signed from the Fylde Rugby Union club was David Tanner. Through injury and lack of form, he was left out near the end of last season. He's been playing in the A team so far this season. I know it's early, but had a blinder, as I say, at Headingley last Friday, and he's got a place in the Saints team this afternoon. Well, Paul Groves has been spoken to by the referee. Obviously, Paul is there, he's asking the referee, am I on the right blade of grass? Are you going to allow me to play it now? I don't know what all that was about. But Groves is always up there quickly for the play of the ball. But it's Farmer taking up the running. Farmer plays it to himself, stretches for the line, inches short. Groves again, acting halfback. Loughlin, yes, there he goes. 6'3" of him, he stretches out. Well, the temper's getting a little frayed again. The referee has to go and restrain a Runcorn player. I don't know what they've been putting in the drink at half time, but it's certainly pepping them up, isn't it? Perhaps they've been on the glue. Loughlin in for his second of the afternoon, extends the Saints lead, 58 points to 8. No problem. Should right under the sticks here for Loughlin. Loughlin there just on the 10-yard line, right in front of the sticks, bangs it over. 60 points to 8 the score, and it was David Hine there being spoken to by referee Bowman. Well, Paul Farmer there right in front of you, bit of a tight fit, that pair of pants, isn't it? But that's it, just rip the sides, give us a bit of extra space. Good forward Farmer, big powerful thighs. Runcorn forced to kick off again. Beavers takes it safely. Runs up to the Runcorn defence. Breaks through the first tackle, but Ashcroft comes in. Well, Ashcroft in there again. Certainly, temper's getting a little frayed here. And Saints are going to be awarded a penalty surely. They're in possession. And who's there? Who's there and about? Only Jeff Dean. He's in the thick of everything, isn't he? Saints awarded the penalty. Paul Groves quickly up there, takes it on to David Cosgrove. Burst through the, nearly there. Good run from Cosgrove, block-busting run. He's run onto this ball hard all afternoon. Farmer, shoulder in and drives into the Runcorn 25. Well, he'll need another pair of shots. Farmer, they're hanging off his legs. Frodsham, Cooper, knocked down. Must be a knock-on. Surely came off a Runcorn player. But play allowed to go on. Roy Haggerty marking the man. Ashcroft goes in. Shane Cooper and Roy Haggerty bring him to ground. Simon Ashcroft attacked in half-back. Now Keith Ashcroft. I don't know whether they're related, but sometimes with these smaller clubs you do get a few brothers playing. Sean Barrow at dummy half. Phil Telford, lofted ball there, good ball out to Kevin O'Gara. A rare running chance for Runcorn. Their other try, well I should say their other try, their only try coming from an up and under